Hey, so you remember that time back when Twitter was a real website, and I made that tweet about Toph Beifong from Avatar The Last Airbender, and it went stupidly viral to the point that it sparked a whole bunch of non-traversal discourse within the Avatar fandom? Well, I tend not to, but apparently it's my legacy.
Just when they thought I was out, they pull me back in.
Fresh off the first season of the most middling live-action adaptation that ever middled amid, Avatar The Last franchise is back, baby. If these recent leaks are to be believed, anyway. You won't fool me into premature hype. I've been waiting on Spyro 4 for 1,000 years, so you know I have trust issues.
What are you? Some kind of, what are you?
Fuck you.
Fine. I will play nice for once. Let's see what all the fuss is about with Avatar and the Legend of the Seven Stars. Oh, okay. Alright. Well, right off the bat, I'm glad neither of these two are exuding Sokka energy. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Sokka. His journey of proving himself and opening up to others is one of the highlights of the original show, and the unlikely friendship that he forms with Zuko in the last few episodes is a testament to his growth as a character. That being said, the first thing that anything and anyone trying to replicate Avatar tries to do is make a Sokka. I'm looking at you, Jean Arc from Ruby.
It's like a force field.
He's right behind me, isn't he? Facepalm. Yeah, again, I love Sokka, but his sense of humor is very of the 2000s.
Yeah, bending slice. Aang, this is my friend Fufu Cuddly Poops. Fufu Cuddly Poops, Aang. You want to walk into a Fire Nation town when they're all fired up with all their, fire?
Maybe I'm just a humorless old goat, but I don't think we need any more of that style of humor in modern media, even if it would be technically closer to the original. Joss Whedon had his time to shape the dialogue of a generation, and now he's in jail. I might be manifesting that last part, but you get my point. Let's see, what else? Man, it's so hard to, endlessly theorize and speculate when there's literally no material out. I don't know how other YouTubers do it other than lying and being monetarily incentivized to do so. Oh, hey, here's something. I like that this new Avatar has the heart of a champion.
I'm gonna be alright, Homestar. I can make it on my own.
Oh, it's like I said. The heart of a champion!
Now, far be it for me to pretend that you can discern everything about a character and their ongoing role in a story just by looking at them. If that were possible, I'd probably be out of a job as being a writer. On the surface, though, I do appreciate how Avatar Pavi appears to be the anti-Korra for reasons that should be obvious to anyone who can see past her skin tone and apparent gender. Korra was a highly trained, physically imposing powerhouse of an Avatar who had to be humbled throughout her journey because she initially approached her responsibilities like some kind of cosmic superhero. She is introduced as a headstrong badass whose cocky attitude made her a loose cannon in the eyes of all the adults in the room. She was the Avatar, and everyone else had to deal with it. This characterization came in direct contrast to Aang, who had a lot to learn before he was ready to save anyone. Aang tended to approach things with the curiosity and fun-loving attitude of a young preteen, and many of his struggles came from having to accept the responsibilities of both his role as the Avatar and his impending adolescence. He was surrounded by mentors who, for better or worse, tried to pass on their wisdom and shape Aang into the ideal version of him that they thought he could be, but ultimately he had to defy them at the last moment in order to truly step into his own as Avatar Aang. All of this is not to say that Avatar Pavi potentially being the opposite of Korra will mean that she is a carbon copy of Aang, though that is admittedly not an unfounded fear if the corporate goons try to play things safe. What is more likely, as well as more engaging from a story and character perspective, is that Avatar Pavi will begin her story as a complete underdog who has to prove herself in a world that doesn't believe she could fulfill her mission as Avatar. The fact that Airbender sidekick boy Jay here looks like he's about to throw down is proof enough that our girl Pavi needs all the help she can get. Seriously, dude, chill out. Why don't you take that belt off your design and we'll see which of our waists is more grabbable. But here you might be wondering, how could the people of Asia the planet not believe in Avatar Pavi? What kind of monsters wouldn't want this little bundle of sunshine to master all four elements and bring balance to the world? Well, these kind, I guess. Hello, viral Toph tweet. After long years of long wandering, I have come to you again. I have shaken the dust from the land, and we will go now together to whatever lies beyond. It would have been so easy to prove me wrong. You were given every opportunity. I even had moments of doubt. My will is not infinite, and if any of you homunculi had an ounce of restraint or foresight between your microbial selves, then my guard might very well have dropped long enough for you to stake me in the withered old cartoon heart. But you just couldn't help sticking your hand back in the cookie jar, could you? I thought for all the world that if anyone could just appreciate an illustration of a young anime girl, it would be the Twitterinos. But you had to go and vindicate my tweet. My accidentally viral, completely off the cuff, effortlessly profound, shower thought tier, timeless and eternal tweet. Because let's not mince words. The response to Avatar Pavi is the exact situation I predicted. And it's not because I'm Nostro-fucking-Damus. It's because this nonsense and goof troopery has long since reached a saturation point. All that happened here was a bunch of blue check billies looked at this character design and said, "Melanin detected," all the way to Elon Musk's fat little piggy bank. And when you put it that way, it sounds really not normal. I am not going to entertain for a second that there is a genuine reason to be mad about Avatar Pavi, unless the word woke means something to you, which I assure you it can no longer. It is a buzzword for the ages if there ever were such a thing, and using it does not disguise the fact that nothing has occurred. You don't have a single reason to be mad. What? Can Avatar Studio not start to do their job instead of milking Appa and his benign growths for the rest of time? And you know what the craziest part of all of this is? We don't even know if she's real. That's right, you little shits. Avatar Pavi is a rooster illusion, a Pepe Sylvia, a product of the infinite Tsukiyomi, a simulacra of false information that may have no connection to any future Avatar product, and yet the reactionary response has been so unambiguously negative and irrationally so that it can only reveal all of you to be a product of a pathology that you swore to yourselves you were fighting because you project it onto the entire world writ large. I did not want to be right about all of you, but it's not fucking difficult. It functionally no longer matters if she's real or not, because this right here, this is the smoking gun, and you stared down that barrel and gobbled it up just like you were Bullet Baby. I have no more words for all of you. These were all of the ones that I had. In fact, this is the end of the video. There's nothing else to say. There's nothing else to do. Why don't you say more in the comments section? Tell me what a fool I am for ever believing in people, for ever thinking they could say